開始係咪？各位早晨啊，你哋好，歡迎嚟今日咧嚟參加我Cyberworld 同 Opswat 合辦嘅 End User Webinar。你哋好啊，早晨。咁好高興咁樣 announce Cyberworld 已經正式成為 Opswat 嘅香港同埋澳門嘅 distributor。咁所以我哋今日咧好高興咁樣。安排呢個 webinar 咧，去介紹下 Opswat 呢個 solution 嘅。其實咧，今時今日我諗大家個 end user， 尤其是喺 IT department 都好清楚，我哋面對緊一啲好嚴重嘅一啲，譬如喺 through email 啦，喺 web 上邊啦，各式各樣唔同嘅 file 入嚟 send 入嚟我哋公司度。咁到底 user 邊啲應該開，邊啲唔應該開，可能佢哋都唔知道嘅。而家現今嘅 file 嘅 type 咧，甚至乎我諗已經 over 100種啦，唔使我講。咁我哋 Opswat 呢個 solution 咧，就係專係針對一啲咧，譬如喺唔同喺可攜式，就算 even 喺 USB 啦，喺 email 啦，喺 web 上邊咧傳過嚟嘅一啲 file type， 我哋點樣可以幫佢做 centralization 咧？咁我哋有請今日 Richard Opswat 佢嘅 technical consultant 為我哋講解一下。咁我順道咧想提一提嘅喎，咁希望大家咧留意我哋嘅 presentation slide， 因為我哋喺最後尾咧有2份嘅獎品，咁咧就係大家留意下咧 Richard 等間去講。即係講解呢個 solution 嘅時候咧，其實喺畫面上咧就會出現個問題嘅答案嘅。咁我唔太花大家時間啦。咁我已經將個時間交俾阿 Richard 開始講解 Opswat 呢個 solution， 好冇？唔該晒 Richard。
Okay, thank you. I'm Richard from Opswat. So I think most of you know the zero-day attack is the very critical threat in the world right now. And you also understand maybe the zero trust is the best methodology to protect against zero-day attack. So Opswat's solution actually is based on the zero trust methodology to develop the entire solution. Right? And you can see two slogans, actually one slogan in this slide: trust no file. And the second is trust no device. The slogan is represented to platform developed by Opswat. So today I will give you a quick overview to introduce the Opswat solution in today's presentation. Before we introduce the solution, I will give a quick update about Opswat. Opswat founded in 2002, so around almost 20 years ago. So we have a lot of office in worldwide. The headquarters is in America, US, in Tampa, Florida. And we have 10 offices in the world. So you can see the white dot means support center. We have 3 support centers. So, actually 4 support centers across the 3 major time zones, 1 in Asia, 2 in EMEA, and there is 1 in America. So that's why we can provide a 24/7 hours the support for all the customers in worldwide. In this slide, you can see a lot of verticals use our solutions, and we also recognized by very large enterprise or government, and especially you can see some information industry. So this customer like BMC, F5, IBM is not only our customer. We also have some alignment with them. To provide a integrated solution to our customers. So let's give you a quick update. Opswat solution was be trusted by a lot of big company, enterprise, or government. Okay. Now I will introduce the first platform, Meta Defender platform. So this platform designed and developed based on the zero trust no file methodology. as a platform, so there are 6 key or core function features provided by the platform. So you can see there are key features like a deep CDR, threat intelligence, file-based vulnerability, and so on. So based on the core features, we design different solutions for different scenarios. So you can see the cross-domain, file upload, storage security, email, and malware analysis. Let me introduce one by one. The first key features, we call that MetaScan. So it can integrate, combines more than 30 anti-malware agents, use this platform, this integrated platform to scan the file. So that means you can improve the huge detection rate, optimize the detection. The second core feature is deep CDR. So we can use these features to sanitize more than 1,000 files, more than 1,000 types of file, not only 1,000 files. And I will explain more detail in the following slide. So in this slide, just give you a quick understand how many key core feature we provide. The third one is file-based vulnerabilities. We own the patent, the US patent. The fourth is the proactive DLP, data loss protection provision. And we can use this feature to for the government regulation compliance, and also to protect your sensitive information with not with outside of your transfer outside of your organization. So that's the fourth core features. And we can deploy in the on-prem, that means in your local data center, and especially if you have a very high security zone, high security network, you use the air-gapped that kind of the deployment. We also can support that. And also we have a cloud platform, provide a SaaS, software as a services. Also in the MetaDefender cloud platform, the SaaS one, we provide additional 2 features. One is the threat intelligence, because we collect a lot of the analyze and especially the malware analyze report. So we can use that to provide threat intelligence. And in the cloud, we also have a dynamic analysis platform. Usually we'll call that sandbox. So the last 2 feature is provide the MetaDefender Cloud, the SaaS deployment. Okay, let's focus on the 4 key or core features provided by the MetaDefender on-premise deployment. First one is the multi-scanning. Also, we call that this module MetaScan. We can combine more than 30 commercial anti-malware, antivirus agent in one platform. So you can imagine that different vendor, the antivirus vendor, have their special or secret weapon to detect the malware, virus, or ransomware. So maybe they use the signature, the traditional method to detect based on the signature. Also, some vendor provide the machine learning, artificial intelligence, something like that. So based on Opswat, we can integrate, combine them together, provide a very, normal, very unique platform. So any file coming to our system, we can use more than 30 antivirus agents to scan the file in the same time. So that can increase the detection rate to that you have a confidence all the file scanned by our platform, and then guarantee the risk is be controlled. And we also normalize the operation because we can use this single platform to automatically update the signature, the new versions provided by the different antivirus vendors. So for the system administrator, you don't need to pay a lot of time to maintain or to keep all the different antivirus, the signature, the database is up to date. All handled by or processed by Meta Defender platform itself. By the way, the feature we provide, like the MetaScan, is try to build the enterprise level antivirus gateway, you can say so. So it's try to protect all the file, transfer in, transfer out, scan all the file for the enterprise, for the organization. So it's not designed to replace the antivirus on endpoint on the laptop or on the PC. So that's the key differential. And in this slide, I give you an idea what's the power of the MetaScan. So you can see the difference ratio. Start from the 4 engines. That means we use 4 anti-malware engines to scan these 10,000 threads. So this information or this data is we based on the existing 10,000 thread and use the multi-scan engine to test in our lab. So this is the result. If we only use 4 engines, so the detection rate is around 63%. So when we increase the number of the engines, you can see the detection rate was increased. If you choose the maxima engines, that means maybe 34, 36, the anti-malware agents use them together. So you can see the detection rate was be increased to 99.3%. So that's the concept why we need more antivirus agent that can optimize the detection. So that means you can control the risk as low as possible. Okay, the second core feature is deep CDR. CDR means content disarm and reconstruction. So the concept is like this slide mentioned. First, we will identify the file. The file you send to Meta Defender will identify the file. Based on the file type, for example, Office file type is different, like a PDF file type. So based on the file type we recognize, and we can use the different configuration to do the sanitize. The second step is sanitize the data. The sanitize means remove the potential malicious content or object in the file. So most of the I don't say the technology, I would say the skill used by the hacker. They use the like a macro, like a script in the document to drop the real malware into your organization to penetrate, to compromise your environment. So the second stage in the CDR is sanitize, means we remove that all the potential malicious content in the file. Then we will reconstruct the rest component back to the original file format. So finally, the user get the clean and the sanitized file by Opswat that we can make sure and guarantee this is 100% clean and safe. You still can use the file and get the full function. For example, the Word document sanitized by Opswat, you still can use the Word document to change the font and add additional content, insert a new table or picture or graph as you use in the as usual for the Word document. So that's the example. The Word document, like Office document, as I present the PowerPoint with you today. If you see the file itself, you just see a file name with a PPTX extension name. So you see it's a single file. Actually, PowerPoint is an archive. So if you use any unzip tool to see the file inside, you will find a lot of folder, a lot of file in this archive. So our CDR technology is recognize this file, identify this file type, and see and find any unused object, potential risky object like a OLED object, and some component or object will be used by hacker, like a macro, like a script. So all these components will be analyzed by Opswat solution, and we will remove the malicious objects and also sanitize the content, like image, like the hyperlink, like the text itself, text paragraph itself. So finally, we will reconstruct the rest component back to the original file format, file type. So that's the concept. And I'll give you some example how Meta Defender calls key feature CDR can protect against zero-day attack. Lookie is a ransomware. So basically, it's use the Microsoft Word file. The file, the infect Word file will contain a malicious macro. The macro, when you open the Word document, the macro will be executed and download the malware itself. So this is the method this ransomware to compromise your environment. So if you use or implement Meta Defender platform, when the file transfer into your organization, automatically the CDR will remove all the macros. So that means the macro have no chance to be executed. Of course, then the malware is no chance to be downloaded into your environment. So that's the first example. Next one, the hawk ball. This malware use the known vulnerability of Microsoft. You can see the vulnerability numbers, and it use the OLED object, and especially this object using the encryption editor. That's is the tool in the RTF provided by Microsoft. So the object will try to download a shell code, like a shell script inside into your environment, and then the shell code will be distributed in the memory with the encryption editor, and after the entire shell code was be decrypted and will execute in the memory, and it will try to find if this in fact PC have Word installed. So they will use the Word to execute the DLL and try to download the malware and run the malware on this infected PC. So that's the path of the compromise. Again, we can use the CDR to protect against this kind of the attack because we remove and sanitize the OLED object. So no chance and no way let the malware to penetrate the protection and into your environment. So that's the second example. Tell you how CDR can protect against zero-day attack. The third key core function, file-based vulnerability assessment. We can scan and compare all the file coming transfer into your environment and use the hash value of this file to search in our very big database to find any known issue related to this the file was be scanned by Opswat. So based on this result, we can give you a assessment. Tell you, for example, in this slide, we see the on rar.dll was be transferred in your environment. So we scan this file and use the hash value to search in our database. We find these DLL have 2 known vulnerability. And these 2 vulnerability is critical. So finally, we give you an assessment result, tell you, okay, there is a critical risk on this file because there are 2 known vulnerability. So you have to pay attention on this file to maybe block this file or quarantine this file to protect your environment. To protect against the hacker or malware, use these 2 vulnerabilities to compromise your environment. And not only protect all the Windows platform, we also can support and know the difference variability for Android and for the mobile device like iOS, Android. So actually, this is Opswat's own patent, so you can see the patent number. And by the way, we integrate and feed a lot of the information from different sources. So you can see, at least in this slide, this is a famous or important resources for the vulnerabilities. The last key core function provided by the Meta Defender platform is proactive DLP. These try to prevent the data loss. Again, we start from the scan. No matter it's a file or the file coming or transferring from any channels, we scan the file and based on the content to find is there sensitive information inside. And then you can choose to redact that content, for example, mask that with block or the different character to mask that content to prevent data breach with customer workflow. The customer workflow means you can control what kind of the information, the sensitive information you want to redact. So now we can detect and redact the sensitive information like the social security number, credit card number, the IP address, or the CIDR format. And of course, you also can use the regular expression to define the custom pattern. So that means you can find any sensitive information you care of your organization or your enterprise. And we also can put a watermark for this different file type like a JPEG, TIFF, PNG, GIF, or PDF. We can put like the client IP address or the username or the time as a watermark to let anyone receive the document to understand when, how I got this file. And some metadata also can be removed in this stage, like a name, company. Most of the photo include some GPS information. We also can use the proactive DLP features to remove that kind of the metadata. So consolidate all the key or core features together. So we will get this data processing workflow. So that the file transferring to the Meta Defender platform, the first step, we can verify the file type. Some malware try to rename change the extension name from, for example, from the executable file to a text file, for example. Try to cheat the antivirus agent. So in this step, we can verify the file type. And the second, we start to scan the file with multiple anti-malware agents. We call that multi-scanning stage. And then based on the known vulnerability, we do the assessment to find is there any vulnerability in this file. And then we do the CDR, sanitize the content, and check is there any sensitive critical information inside. And finally, the end user can get a 100% secure and safe file they can use as usual. We provide a guarantee the 100% function with the original file they can use. In different stage, if any exception will be detected, so you can decide to block this file, means quarantine the file. User cannot access that until we confirm maybe that's the false positive, and then release them to the users. So in this data processing workflow, any exception we can trigger to block that file. Okay, now we have a basically understanding the core function, core feature of MetaDefender platform. Then based on this platform, Opswat developer design the different solution. Use that core platform. First is the cross-domain solution. Cross-domain means some data will transfer into your organization. Of course, maybe you transfer out. So that means cross-domain. From network A, maybe it's the low security network. Network B, maybe it's the high security network. So how we protect the data transfer across different domains? The key product for this solution is the MetaDefender kiosk. It's like you look at a traditional kiosk, but the purpose is try to scan all the file transfer in your environment. For example, we use the USB pen drive. So you insert this pen drive into the kiosk, and the Opswat kiosk will automatically scan all the file inside of the pen drive. And if the file was clean, no malware, and also can sanitize by MetaDefender platform, then we save the clean file back to the USB. So you can use the USB as usual to share copy transfer file with other colleagues or employees. And any malicious content, the file was detect the malware, maybe there is a malware inside or the malicious object inside, then the file will be blocked. Okay, that's the concept of the kiosk. And we provide a very user-friendly interface. So you can see it supports the touch screen. So you just can use follow these three very simple steps. First, insert the media. We support USB pen drive. We memory card. We also support traditional media, portable media like a CD, DVD. So kiosk can scan this kind of the portable media. Just insert the media into the kiosk. We will start to scan and process the file. Then finally, you will get this result. So in this slide, we see totally 36 file was clean, so allowed to be shared by this media. And one file with some maybe malware, virus, whatever, was be blocked by kiosk. So it's very easy to use, just single 3-step. So you can make sure all the content in this portable media was scanned and protected by our solution. And furthermore, if we want to increase the security level, maybe you implement the air gapped network. So like, for example, network A is a public network. Network B maybe is a high security level network. So in this environment, we install the Opswat client on the PC in this network. And for some OT environment system, like SCADA, HMI, they cannot install software. We can deploy a USB file between the USB and the SCADA system, like add an additional device, attach additional device on this machine. So the workflow is the same. We use the kiosk to scan the portable media and block any malicious files and risky files. and only allow the safe and the sanitized file into the high security level network B. And we also will, verify, give you a signature to guarantee this USB pen drive was be processed by kiosk, Opswat kiosk. So the client install install the Opswat client, the endpoint like a Windows or Mac. So we install the Opswat client in this machine. The software, the agent can recognize, okay, this USB pen drive was processed by Opswat Meta Defender kiosk, is safe, so we allow this workstation to access the content, the file in this USB drive. So the same idea, we can use the USB file to protect the OT environment like SCADA and the HMI, the console, because most of this device cannot install software. So we use this hardware device to make sure the USB you want to plug with this system was be scanned, processed by kiosk. And the other way to protect the data transferring, maybe in your environment, you don't allow any USB or any portable media bring into the network. So for that scenario, we can integrate with the Meta Defender Vault. And the same flow from the beginning. So the portable device scan, processed by Meta Defender kiosk, and the allowed file will be transferred directly into the Meta Defender Vault. It's like a Vault. It's a high security environment. So any user need to pass the authentication and the authorization process and to retrieve the file stored in the Meta Defender Vault. And the most key feature provided Meta Defender Vault is try to, to provide this feature, outbreak prevention. It's very similar like the strategy we today we try to protect the people against the COVID. So any file sent into the Meta Defender Vault will lock the file, and during the lock period, the quarantine period, we scan the file again and again. So for example, in the day one, we use the multi-scan, use the 36 anti-malware agent to scan the file ust.exe. So only one anti-malware agent detects some malicious content. You can see only one anti-malware agent found the threat. But in the day 7, another 3 agents detect this file with some malicious content, maybe the virus or malware inside. In day 14, totally there are 16 antivirus agents detect the threat. So that's the strategy we can use. For the executable file, maybe we cannot use the CDR to sanitize the content. But how we can prevent the zero-day attack, we can use Meta Defender Vault. Quarantine the coming file, the executable file, for example 14 days. In this locking period, we use the multi-scan engine to scan the file, regular scan that, maybe twice a day, maybe every hour, depends on your business requirement. So after the locking period, we can get the final result. So we have more information to let the administrator to decide this file is allowed or be blocked. So that's the strategy. You can use the Meta Defender Vault to prevent the outbreak. Okay, sometimes your vendor, especially you have a contractor, the contractor will maintain your entire IT system or environment. Sometimes the vendor need to use their device, their laptop to do the maintenance job, maybe upgrade, patching, something like that. How you make sure the device is safe, is clean. So Opswat provide a bootable USB device we call Meta Defender Drive. You can use this device to boot the system and automatically start the scanning to scan all the file, all the information inside of that device, and give you a report to let the IT people make decision based on the report to allow this device into your network or not. So in this picture, you can see the Opswat drive is just like the traditional or the original USB pen drive, but it's bootable. So just insert this Meta Defender drive into the laptop, and of course you need to set up in the BIOS let the system boot use this USB drive. Then the Opswat drive will take over to control the system and start to do the scan automatically. So after the scan, you will get a final result, like the screenshot I take in the right side. So you can see the result, how many files was be scanned, and is there any threat, malware was be detected by the Meta Defender drive. And the administrator can, based on this report, to decide this device is clean, can connect to your network, or just block this device. Okay, the next solution we call the file upload security. Why we need this solution? I think most of the enterprise or organization will change the data with external. For example, the FSI industry, your customer will send a lot of the application form for the mortgage or maybe insurance claim, and the candidate also will provide their resume, CV, use the file upload into your environment, and of course the employee maybe download the data content from the internet. So a lot of data file was be exchanged in the daily operations. So as a IT person or the security officer, I'm worrying about how we can guarantee or make sure the data exchange from external, the data is safe, is clean, and will not cause any, the attack or bring any virus, malware, ransomware into my network. So that's my concern. Meta Defender ICAP server is the solution. So we can see two different use cases to implement the Meta Defender ICAP server. First, this for the data upload scenario. So the external user, they will upload the file like a resume, invoice, or the application form into your organization for the business purpose. So we can integrate Meta Defender ICAP server with the reverse proxy. Depends on, we support almost all the reverse proxy worldwide. So just config and set it to integrate these two components together. So all the traffic, all the file during the upload will forward by the reverse proxy to Opswat Meta Defender ICAP server, and the ICAP server will use the core platform to scan, to detect the virus, and also can use the platform to sanitize the content. And then finally, the clean document and will transfer forward back to the original destinations. That's the first example to protect your system, your environment behind, actually behind the firewall in your internal environment. And the second scenario is try to protect or secure the web traffic. So here is your internal user, your employee or the end users. We can integrate Meta Defender archive server with the proxy, or we call that forward proxy server. So the proxy will forward the request and the response to ICAP and use the Meta Defender platform to scan and sanitize the content. So that's another deployment. In this, the second deployment, we can protect all the web traffic. The next solution is to provide to secure the email. So we call that email gateway security. The deployment is very straightforward. We put the Opswat solution. We call that Meta Defender email gateway security at the front of your original or the enterprise email server. So that means all the email from outside will scan, process by Meta Defender email gateway security, and the clean and sanitized email and forward relate to the mail, your original email server, then send to users' email box. Any malicious or threat will be blocked by the Meta Defender email gateway security itself. What feature provided by the Meta Defender email gateway security? We provide the traditional or the generic security feature like anti-spam, anti-phishing, and also we provide additional security features like anti-malware, CDR, and data loss prevention, because these three in the right side is the key or the core feature provided by Opswat. So our email gateway security is provide more functionality than generic email gateway. We add more functionality here, anti-malware, CDR, and DLP. Okay, next one is the storage security solutions. I believe every organization or enterprise have a lot of existing document in different storage, in different folders. So a lot of information, a lot of document there. So how we can, to understand the existing file in different location, different storage are safe, are clean. How we can make sure that, because it's difficult, because maybe my organization running since 20 years ago, I have a lot of document, so not easy to do that. So Meta Defender for secure storage is trying to address these issues, address this problem. We can integrate, it's a native integrate with no matter cloud storage or local storage. So you can see we support AWS S3 or Box, OneDrive, and of course any local storage like a EMC. Actually, it's just any Samba compatible device. We can integrate with that device and use the Meta Defender core feature, the multi-scan, the CDR to process all the file in your existing storage. So that's the feature we provide. And after you configure the integration with this storage, the Meta Defender for secure storage will scan that folder, that file periodically. Of course, you can set the schedule, scan every week or every month, depends on your business requirement. After the MDSS scan the storage unit, after you scan and complete the process, you will get a final report to tell you, okay, that share folder, that storage, how many file inside, how many file was allowed, means clean, and how many file was be blocked because maybe that file with malicious or virus or malware, or that those block file with some sensitive information. So that's the function provided by Meta Defender for secure storage. We scan your existing file located in different storage. Okay, now we move to the next platform, Meta Access platform. So the methodology we developed this platform is based on trust no device methodology. Okay, device, a lot of kind of the device maybe is the employee use for daily operation or provided by the company, or maybe some portable device bring by the employee itself. So especially BYOD is a trend for the work from home, and also some IoT device. So this device will connect to in your IT environment to access the application or service, or maybe they have communication with other device component like a server, like the network resources, the access the internet or intranet to access different network segment. So how we can control the access of these a lot of different devices. Basically, we use these two different products. One is Opswat Meta Access SDP. This product provides access control for application for service. And the second component or product is the Meta Access NAC, Network Access Control, NAC. Is control the access for component like a server, like a network device, or the network resources. So that's a different product. One is for the application or service. One is for the network itself. This one is very similar to the existing or generic network access control solutions. And of course, we integrate with the different identity provider like LDAP, Active Directory, and also can use the SAML to integrate with other IDP. In the left side, how we can make sure the device itself is safe. We can do some compliance check based on the key metrics or data we collect from the device to decide this device is compliant or non-compliant. And finally, for the NAC, we also can integrate and need to integrate with the L2 and the L3 device, because we can dynamic based on the policy to change the access control to protect or block any malicious connection between the device and the server. And in this slide, it gives you a very quickly high-level briefing to tell you how we can decide this device is compliant or non-compliant. So we can collect the operating system information, like a version, is any antivirus software installed on this endpoint, the file was enabled or disabled, and hard drive encryption, and so on. So a lot of metrics or status we can check on this device. And based on the information we collect, and we can use the finally rule to decide to decide this device is compliant or non-compliant. A very famous use case is integrate with the VDI solution. In the COVID situation right now, a lot of companies allow their employee work from home. So that means they can use their own device to access, to connect to the internal network to do the daily job. And the successful use case is Opswat integrate with VMware. We have a technical alignment. So based on this scenario, to make sure all the connect device is compliant. Okay, so the workflow looked like this. In the step 1, we install the Meta SS client into the endpoint. No matter the endpoint is company owned or owned by the employee itself, the personal device, no matter what kind of the device, we install the agent into that kind, the endpoint device, and the endpoint device will report the status back to the Meta SS console. So that's the step 1. And when the employee try to establish the connection to access the internal VDI environment, then the VDI client send a request to for example, the VMware. The VMware horizontal client will send a request to the VMware Unified Access Gateway. During the connection established period, the UAG will check the device status. If UAG find the device is unknown, means it does not install the agents, or the device status is non-compliant, then the UAG will block the access. So that means the user cannot use this device to access the internal network. Otherwise, if the UAG find the device is compliant, means all the setting is follow IT's security policy, then UAG allow this device to connect the destination virtual desktop. So that's the integration scenario. Actually, we have a lot of a very big bank customer use this solution to make sure the work from home strategy is safe for that bank. Okay, the next product, Meta SS SDP, is try to use the zero trust methodology on the device level. So all the device and the application is invisible. That means each one cannot see each other's before they authorized by Meta SS SDP, this platform. So that's we follow the zero trust methodology to control the access right for each client and each application they try to access. And we also use the single unified platform. No matter you try to control the application in the cloud, or like a Salesforce, like the ServiceNow, that kind of the SaaS application, or any application or service on-prem, like your internal house grow ERP system, however. So you can use the unified platform, Meta SS SDP, to provide the access control for cloud or private on-prem applications. And the last component of the zero trust device, trust node device, is Meta SS NAC, network access control. It's like a traditional access control system. We can dynamically or based on the policy to modify the access control list, try to block any malicious connection between the device and the target and the destination. Of course, we can integrate with the SIM platform. If any threat was be detected by the thing, they can call our API to modify the ACL immediately, then to block the malicious connection. Okay, in the last session of today, I will give you a quick introduction about the OT and the ICS environment. Because Opswat just announced an acquisition in July, we acquired the Bayshore software to provide additional, the protection, especially for the operation technology or the industry control system environment. There are three key products provided. First, we call the product name is Network here. So the function it provides is try to enforce a one-way data transfer. So that means we set this device between the IT network. You can see the diagram in the right side. The IT network means the low security network, and operation network means the high security network. By the way, this is following the Purdue model to define the difference level in the OT environment. So level 4 is the low security network. So we put this device, this component network between layer 4 and the layer 3. So you can see there similar DMZ level 3.5 here. So it only allows the data transfer from the OT environment to the IT environment. Only one-way data transfer. So you can see this is the diagram deployed between the OT and the IT network. So based on these products, we can make sure only the data only can be transferred from OT environment to IT environment, and protect any malicious content, virus, malware will not compromise your critical infrastructure. The second product provide for the OT protection is OT Fuse. So in the diagram, you can see we put this device between the process network layer 2 and the control network. So you can see we put the device here. So it's very similar like the intrusion prevention system in the IT environment. We put this device between process network and the control network. So any traffic, any session will be recognized, will be analyzed by this device. If this device found any unauthorized connection, then the connection will be blocked by this device. So that's why I call this device more like the industry firewall or the like traditional IPS. So they can recognize any unauthorized or malicious connection between operation network and the control network, then block that kind of the malicious connection. So very similar to the IPS or firewall. And the last component we acquired from Berkshire is the OTSS. It's provide the access control list, access control functions to focus on the OT environment. And it's very similar to the Meta Access. So in the roadmap, we will integrate and merge these two components together. So provide a unified, integrated solution to cover IT and OT access control requirement with the same single platform. Okay, so in the last slide, in this slide, we see how Opswat solution to protect the OT ICS environment. First, we deploy the kiosk in the low security network. So all the content, all the file need to transfer into your high security network should be scanned, processed by the Meta Defender kiosk. Then the allow file will transfer into the Meta Defender vault to prevent the outbreak. And any device, laptop, we use the Meta Defender drive to scan before then bring into or connect into your high security network. And in the operation network and the IT network, we use the network here, deploy the network here to make sure the data only can transfer from operation network to IT network. So that's the one-way, enforce the one-way data transfer method or one-way data transfer channel. So between the between the process network like a SCADA and the control network like a PLC device, we set a spatial OT Fuse here. Then protect only authorized and reasonable connection can be established between the SCADA and the PLC system. So to protect, block any unauthorized command, unauthorized connection with other unauthorized device. Okay, that's the quick overview of all the Opswat solution. We cover two major platforms, the traditional Opswat platform. One is Meta Defender platform that provide 4 key or core features based on the zero trust, no trust file methodology. And the second platform is the Meta SS. We provide no trust any file, any device, trust no device, that kind of methodology. So now this is the quiz time. We have, I have 2 questions, and the winner will get 2,000 Hong Kong dollars gift voucher. Okay, ready? Let's go. Question 1. Which Opswat product can inspect the portable media? The keyword is portable media for malware, vulnerabilities, and sensitive data. It also can sanitize the suspicious files as well. So put the answer in the chat. Our host will select the winner.
好快喎，Richard，
Yeah.
Metascan 啱唔啱啊？ Is it correct? Metascan.
Sorry? You are checking the answer?
Yeah, Metascan. The answer from Patrick Wong, is it correct?
No.
No?
Not precisely.
How about the
There is
drive?
another product, maybe 100 missed the description here.
Okay, so you can see the checkbox.
Oh, okay.
The first one is Metascan, and we still have another answer is drive and empty drive. So you can select from the checkbox.
Okay. Yes, one answer from how to say SP Quark. He answered the question correctly. Actually, the product is Meta Defender Kiosk.
Okay, congratulations, SK Corp. So,
yeah.
And then we still have another question, right?
Yeah, question 2. Which Opswat product can enforce the company security policy on the device for VMware VDI, VMware Horizon?
Wow. Too many answers. Yeah.
Right. So I can provide the right answer. The answer is the Meta SS. So you need to pick the winner.
It's the Meta SS, right?
Yeah, Meta SS.
Yes. So the first one is Wolf Kwan. Wolf Kwan, congratulations. So I will contact you, contact SP Corp and Wolf Kwan later.
Okay.
Meta SS, right?
Yeah, but I think Patrick Wong is the right answer. NUC is for the network access control, not the right product name. Actually, it's the Meta SS itself.
Patrick Wong, right?
Yeah. I think the winner is Patrick Wong.
Meta SS. Meta SS only, no NAC, right?
No NAC.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations, Patrick. So I will contact you soon. And then, Richard, we still have 2 questions from our audience. So the question is, if the web traffic is encrypted, so how can we check the content of file?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. So if you have this situation, but for the security purpose, you use the HTTPS to encrypt the conversation between the client and server. And if you, in that use case, in that scenario, you try to make sure or scan the content, you need to put the ICAP after the device can, decrypt the SSL protocol, the TCL protocol. Do you got what I mean? For example, you use the F5 device to encrypt the conversation between a client and server, and then the decrypt network string and send to the Opswat Meta Defender ICAP server to scan and sanitize. Do I answer your question? So the key is we cannot scan any encrypted content. If we can, then that means the SSL is useless. So we only can scan and sanitize the clean content, cannot encrypt by any mechanism.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Tongman. So today's our webinar is almost finished. So thank you all of you. And if you still have any question for our webinar, you can contact us, contact our Cyberworld marketing team as well. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.